Hypnosis on the internet. Is it a hefty shield or a mighty sword? The field of computer science, a fairly new subject in school, but I hold a great passion for it. Maybe it's because how I was taught by my parents, who are both great computer scientists, that I always believe there's a great tendency toward computer science. Imagine a day at catering school. You open up your device and the screen lights up. That can happen because someone named Alan Turing invented the universal Turing machine 108 years ago. It is also because of multiple hardware computer scientists and designers who created a functional electric motherboard. Then there are software computer scientists that code the basic law of the processing system of your device. Every moment you spend using these electronic devices, you are influenced by computer science. Computer science is not limited just to personal electronics. Cables, roads, houses, skyscrapers are now built with computer algorithms to reach the best solution. NASA launches spaceships using computers' ability, and the internet we talk through today is somewhat built by computers. Among all the usefulness of computers, what influenced us the most, and that's the internet. I still can remember one of my quarantine days. There was a power outage in the hotel, and of course, there was no more connectable Wi-Fi. I try not to exaggerate the feeling, but it is extremely overwhelming to suddenly lose the connection to the internet, especially in a small hotel room where I have nothing to do. How fast any information we simply receive on the internet is just astonishing. It can consume my time so well in quarantine, and as well as your time listening to me right now. To some extent, the internet changed the lifestyle of millions of people. People shop online, work in internet companies, and spread ideas online just like me. But while enjoying all these improvements and comfort, it's really clear that we're becoming more and more dependent upon the internet. And also, an old Chinese saying goes like this: an intelligent man checks if a wall is faltering before he stands under it. This applies to the current situation as well. If we're growing more and more dependent upon the internet, shouldn't we first evaluate the possible harms before it crashes on us? And now one of the greatest harms hidden in the internet has been given a name: the theory of information cocoon. It is a rather complex problem, but there is an example. In the famous show Yes Minister, the cabinet minister James Hacker is always having a dispute with his cabinet secretary, and it's about a special red box. For those who don't know about the show, the special red box is where secretaries put important documents for the minister to review. Supposedly, the secretary cannot alter the minister's decision. What they can alter is the amount and the order of documents in the red box. The minister mostly don't have time to reach and review the documents at the bottom of the red box, so secretaries can put the documents they don't want the minister to see under the red box. So when the next day, the minister gives the partially reviewed red box back to them, the secretaries can be in control over the unreviewed documents on the bottom of the red box. This is how information cocoon works. It seems like it can't damage us, but just like the files in the red box, information cocoon can alter our mind from the very bottom where we can't see. The effect of information cocoon is most visible in entertainment apps. For example, YouTube. YouTube has its recommendation section, and the algorithm has organized those videos in the recommendation section depending on the videos users watched in the past. Sometimes after, people find themselves finding all sorts of interesting or useful videos to watch. In theoretical terms, the YouTube algorithm could even know users better than themselves, and even try to predict what new videos users may want to watch to keep them online. YouTube's algorithm is a rather mild example of information cocoon. Other websites and applications could do something way worse, and it's somewhat in the gray legal areas. Besides from entertaining, these websites and applications could lead users into buying things they might not need, bringing user anxiety and other mental problems, or even getting them into a fraud. They achieve these goals just like YouTube, recommending headlines, posts, or news. This information might not be fake, but it will be well organized by AI. By organization, these somewhat true pieces of information could lead the user's subconsciousness into thinking something else that isn't true. For example, if I go on a website and find it frequently telling me that children at age 14 are getting master's degrees, I might not first be interested and not even be bothered by the news. But after a few similar headlines without raising my alert, my subconsciousness may think that really feel anxious about myself. Then a few days or weeks later, someone could come up to me and say, "Do you want to be a part of this college lesson we're doing?" Because the information I was fed earlier, in my subconsciousness, I think I need more tutoring. This is how information cocoon could be used for other people. In this case, I both felt anxiety and bought lessons I might not need. Even though there are kids just getting degrees when they're 14, but usually I don't feel anxious about that. But after the organization of the information over weeks or months, my subconsciousness took in and I fell into the cocoon. This is what information cocoon means: giving users information by choice and leading their subconsciousness into thinking a wrong view of the world or a wrong view of their situation. No one will know once they fall into an information cocoon, because it's a cocoon filled with information that blocks you away from the real and true world. You could see something dangerous. It could be used for advertisement, for presidential election, for changing the mind of a whole nation, and for almost anything you want people to believe. I would describe information cocoon as a sort of hypnosis, the sword of hypnosis. But while considering the harms, information cocoon could also be a hefty shield that protects people from dangerous ideas. The hypnosis is not always a bad thing. It let people believe. It could lead people with mental struggles back to society. It could also create a friendly environment for developing minds of young children. Of course, all of these effects relies on the fact that we're becoming more and more dependent on the internet. Because we're yet have to be grown so dependent on the internet, it's not really affecting us right now. But someday we have to make a choice. On one hand, it's the shield of belief. On the other hand, it's the sword of hypnosis. Do we keep them both or throw them all away? Alas, at this crazily paced society, no one could be definite about the good or bad of anything. I sure can't either. But what I can tell you is, information cocoon is just a tool. It could be the shield that protects all men, or just as well be the sword that gives human race the ending blow. And always, thank you for listening.